Next up, we have Cvna here. So it's been a while since I looked at this stock. It was way back when very, very bearish. I can't believe, holy, this was once 300, almost $375, and is now down to 38. It's actually come up a bit. Its lowest it was $4 here. I do think it's still going to go to zero, to be honest, or pretty close. I think it's a failing company. Their financials are horrendous. So but we'll take a look at it and see if there's a potential trade setup. So first thing that kind of comes to mind here, and I see right away, is a retracement of this down segment. You can see price never made a higher high here versus this one relative to this one, and then it broke this area here and made a lower low. So it looks like it's retracing now, if it is retracing, and if it's still overall bearish and it's only retracing, this would be the area that it would probably stop retracing at. So right at this between $41 and roughly 45, this 50% to 618 area, you can see price already came up to it and sold off. That was yesterday, or sorry, that was Monday, and then yesterday. The market's currently closed. So this is Tuesday's candle. You can see it didn't even touch this area. So we'll see what it does if it hits this area again. But I'd probably be inclined to sell this at this area. I just think that, long term, this is definitely bearish, and this is obviously a very significant area. You can see price respected it here, rejected it a few times, gapped above, came back down, came up, finally broke it. You can see held below it, then broke above. So you see the trend here right around $40. Actually, it's a little bit higher, roughly 41 even is kind of where, here, we'll put that in actually just so we know. $41 is kind of, where this seems to be selling off here. So we'll see what happens. I'd probably give it another day or two and just see if it hits this area and keeps selling off. There's a gap here, so if price fills this gap, then and then continues lower, then we're definitely going back down. But I would just be curious to see what happens when price hits this area, if it hits this area again, because I'd be looking for a short. I think something like this, at least to even fill this gap, would be good, or even just targeting this lower supply area here right around $30 I think would be great. Something like that. Just have to see where price gets to in this area. Keep your stop above this area, and try to double your money. 2 to 3 risk to reward would be fantastic. And then as far as like timelines, you can see on a weekly time frame, this moves about 750 and it's already at 7, so might not do much more this week, although you have to account for the gap, so that's going to add some range here. This gap counts as range even though it hasn't technically done it this week. But anyways, yeah, we'll see how this week closes. You can see if it closes anything like it's currently at, then it's pretty weak and is most likely going to sell off. So we'll just wait for a bit more price action, wait for price to try to hit this area again. This is the 4-hour time frame, so at least if it starts making lower lows, lower highs on the lower time frames here, then you're probably good to go to short this. Another thing we could look at here is you can see there's a nice bullish segment here. So then if we take the 618, 50% 618 area here, actually, this is really good. You can see price has respected this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then gapped above it. So a couple things can happen here. Price comes back up into this area and sells off, and then heads to this area, and then if it holds above this area, well, you're just gonna range basically, and it's gonna be a battle between the bears and the bulls between these two areas, between $41 and roughly 35. So it's got to break one of these areas. I mean, this one seems pretty significant, like 4 or 5 times here it's held it. So but this is you can see price on this 1-hour time frame rocking it up, so it could just be retracing in order to head higher. But I think it's definitely retracing now, so it might not hit the $41 mark again. It might hit this $35 area before it hits that 41. So we'll just have to wait and see. So a couple trade possibilities. I'm more biased towards the sell side, so I'd wait for price to hit this area and sell it, and if not, break this area and sell down, lower, and actually, target below this area and just target, all time, I guess not all time new lows, but new recent lows here. Take out all these lows and just keep going. But yeah, I gotta wait for some more setup here. Just want to see. So we looked at the ranges. Let's see the range of the month. So a month it usually does about $20. That'll go up a little bit, so maybe about $22. So if the high of the month is 42, I mean it could hit potentially, 20, $22 down here if this is the high of the month, which not sure if it is yet. The month has just started, so couple things we have to wait for. So let price come up to this area and sell off. Let it break this area downwards, sell it off there. If you're really risky, which I wouldn't be, but you could look for a buy at this area. If price pulls back down to this area again, this is the 618, and it has been heavily respected recently with all these candles here. You can see, you can actually drag this even, or it's a very significant area. So I mean, maybe it'll get bought up, but then, I mean, what are you targeting? Because like, there's a potential. I mean, you could target, like, let's say the top of this area. You're shooting for $45. You keep your stop below this area here. Oops. You could get something like this. You could get a 3 to 4 risk to reward if price comes back down to this area and rejects, and then you want to take the risk and buy it up, and in hopes that it hits $45. But I don't know, it just seems a little risky, relative to their finances and this recent history. I mean, you can't. How do you look at this and be like, yeah, I want to buy this? So that's just me though. So we'll see how it plays out. I will keep you guys updated. Let me know if you want updates on this, frequently or whatever, and I will do so. So that's my take on Carvana. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.